Howdy everyone, we're going to be talking about tissues today. What is a tissue? A tissue is a group of cells with the same structure and functionality working together towards an end goal. The four types of tissues are epithelial, muscular, nervous, and connective tissues. Now, what's the next thing I'm asked here? What are the characteristics of epithelial tissues, my bad. The characteristics of the epithelial tissue is the fact that it is made entirely of cells. It is avascular, meaning it has no blood flowing into it. It takes all of its nutrients out of the bloodstreams in which flow in the basement tissue in which the epithelial layer is connected to. It has also got quite a few variants that are all over the body. Epithelial tissue also lines all of the hollow cavities in our body. Now, I have a drawing to explain the next types of epithelial layers, so let me get them pulled up real quick. So here I have made some very crude drawings of all the variants of epithelial layers. So here we have, Shinola. Here we have a simple squamulous layer. It's a single thin stretched out layer of cells. Over here we have a simple cuboidal, just a bunch of cubes hanging out. Down here we have simple columnar. Now these are just long cells. All of the nucleuses and these simple ones are usually in a row with very little variation. This is a stratified cuboidal, just a double layered version of this one up here. This here is a stratified squamulous. Basically the same thin stretched layers here, but again, stacked on top of one another. This is a pseudo-stratified comminular, which just means that some of these can make it all the way up, but a lot of them don't. And then this is a transitional, which is basically it has the ability to be cuboidal when relaxed, but it also has the ability to stretch like the simple squamulous. Now moving on, we're going to talk about the characteristics of connective tissue. And the four characteristics of connective tissue that are very important to remember are the fact that they are for binding and supporting, protecting, insulating, and storing reserved fuel, just like a lot of the tissues in the body. Now, the next thing I'm being asked here, what fibers and cells are found in there? So inside of these connective tissues inside of our bodies, we have things like fibroblasts, mast cells, plasma cells, macrophages, what's that one word? Leukocytes, and then, what is it? This adipocytes? Yes, adipocytes. And those are the types of cells and fibers you're going to find inside of your connective tissues. And then, I'll show you my drawings real quick. So I have some very crudely drawn pictures of the different types of connective tissues here. So right here, this is our dense connective tissue. This one is adipose. This one is loose. This one is cartilage. This here is actually just bone. And this one here is our elastic dense connective tissue. And so here we have the three types of muscles: skeletal muscles, smooth muscles, and over here underneath, if I get rid, no, not what I wanted. This is cardiac muscles, right? Skeletal muscles are found within the body. They're striated. These are voluntary and they are quick. They're fast muscles. Smooth muscles are usually involuntary and they are more for like lining the insides of your stomach. They move, they contract and condense and contract, or not condense, extend and contract to move things around the body. And then cardiac muscles are used to pump the blood throughout your body. These are also involuntary. But the important thing about them is that this is striated, but these are not striated. And finally, to wrap things up, let's see what our last things are here. Neurons versus neuralagia. And neuralagia are the supporting cells of the neuron or of the nervous system, and your neurons are the main, like, that's how the electric pulses get around your body. Now, what are the parts and the neuron, or what are the parts of neurons and the functions? Let me pull that out real quick. I've got the drawn photo. So as you can see here, I've drawn an axon, right? Or not an axon, a neuron. Right here we have our cell body. This is where the nucleus is held. Then we have these guys coming off of that. These are called the dendrites. Then we have the main shaft coming through the mitral sheath here. That's what this exterior portion is. This is called an axon. And then the end here is the transmitter. So the dendrites are the receivers, and these ends are the transmitters. And then I drew this here connected to the myelin sheath. It is actually a representation of a neuralgia. It is it's a form of neuralgia. I cannot remember the name, and I probably would butcher pronouncing it as well. And the last question are, where are neurons found? Neurons are found anywhere there is nervous tissue, and nervous tissue is found in your brain, in your spine, and in the nerves that run throughout your skin and other places in your body.